Welcome to the live stream, everyone. Let's get this thing started. I am just going to continue to get everything set up here on YouTube, so just bear with me. Guys, all right, so let's get this thing started. Right now, Bitcoin is currently sitting at, it's trying to hold support at $107,000. I appreciate you guys coming in and hit the likes. It does help support the channel. It does help support the channel. Let me get everything set up here. Let's go over and look at the Crypto Fear and Greed Index right now. Right now, the Crypto Fear and Greed Index is probably doing nothing crazy. Right now, it is currently sitting at 64 in greed. So again, nothing to write home about. Sitting right in the middle, not near fear, not near extreme greed, sitting at 64. So unless that's close to 90, I really am not too concerned, but that's just where the market sentiment is right now. So I would say the market sentiment is just above neutral right now. If you guys have requests for altcoins, let me know in the comment section below, but we're going to start on the daily time frame for Bitcoin, kind of break it down. So Bitcoin on the daily time frame trying to break out of this falling wedge that we do see on the daily time frame. Your all-time high is just below 112,000. If we look at the 12-hour time frame, you can see the 12-hour time frame right now is trying to make a higher low on the stock RSI, suggesting you get to the bounce. Maybe not until tomorrow or the next day, but sometime later this week. I'd be looking for a bounce on Bitcoin. 8-hour time frame very oversold. So that is a very good sign. You're above the 200-day moving average on Bitcoin on the 8-hour time frame, and also a little bit of a flag. This flag would give you a measured move of approximately 116,000. So I still think sometime in July, Bitcoin is likely to go up to $116,000. Thank you guys for the likes on TikTok when they do come. If we jump down to the 6-hour time frame on Bitcoin, you can see that we are also likely trying to bounce here, getting that measure move to 116,000. So I would say like the 4-hour time frame is oversold, the 6 hours oversold, the 8 hours oversold, the 12 hours getting close to making a higher low and getting oversold as well. I'm going to call for a long later this week and into the rest of July, up to at least minimum $116,000 come end of July. And that's a ways away, but I see a pump coming here on the higher time frames. Even the 3-hour time frame on the stock RSI above the 200-day moving average and making a higher low, and the 3 hours oversold. So we'll see what happens, but I even love the 2-hour. That's also likely to pump, and we're probably likely to tomorrow higher than where we are right now. Now, the 1-hour time frame scares me a little bit. The smaller time frame scared me for sure a little bit. You can see that the 1-hour time frame is getting overbought, making a lower high. And that's not a great sign. So, like, I would say 2-hour and above look fantastic. 2-hour to the 8-hour look fantastic. The half-hour looks kind of sketchy to me. The 15-minute time frame is just kind of going sideways, if anything, maybe slightly down. And then you just look at the 10-minute, and the other smaller time frames are below the 200. So, like, the smaller time frame is below that 200-day moving average. The 15 is well below it. The half-hour time frame just lost it again. So, to me, if Bitcoin can't hold $107,000, you are likely coming down to about 105,989 on Bitcoin. Guys, hit the likes. It does help support the channel. Thank you. So, really, Bitcoin must hold 107, otherwise 105,989 or 106 is coming for Bitcoin. And, like, even the 5-minute time frame, once again, lost to 200. Yes, you're oversold, but you lost a 200-day moving average on the 5-minute time frame, which suggests that we are going to tumble a little bit lower. I'm not saying you get a massive dump right now, but, you know, I wouldn't be surprised if Bitcoin comes down to 105, or basically 106,000, and then sometime later tomorrow, maybe in 24 hours or so, Bitcoin rebounds from there and then starts its breakout to, you know, maybe 110 or something like that. To me, that's the most likely scenario. Short term, for the next 24 hours, I gotta say, here's my call. I'm bearish. I would say for the rest of this week, I see Bitcoin probably going close to 109 at least. So I see short term a move down to 106. Then by the end of the week, at the very latest, I see a move to 109. And then sometime by the end of July, I move to 116. Those are my short term, medium term, and long term outlooks on Bitcoin for the next 30 days. And that's where I stand. So altcoins might struggle tonight, but we'll see what happens. I'm pretty sure if you guys hit the likes. I don't know why it's so hard to get people to hit the likes. I don't know. But either way, that's kind of what I see going on for Bitcoin, is most likely a move to the downside tonight. And then for the rest of the week, likely to get that pump back to the upside. I'm going to do a sound check on YouTube. I forgot to do that. So the sound looks to be good. The sound looks to be good right now. So if you guys have a request for altcoins, let me know. It has been it's been pretty bad turnout the last few streams. Not quite sure what's going on, but that's I do see more downside for Bitcoin into tonight, and I did take a bet that tomorrow at 5 p.m., 4 p.m. my time, 4 p.m. Central Time, Bitcoin will be lower than where it is right now. I meant to do that for today, but I do think in 24 hours we're probably around the same price, if not slightly lower. I think tonight we definitely go lower, so we'll see what happens, but I'd see more downside for the next day or so. And then again, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, I see a move at least to 109K on Bitcoin. That's kind of where I see the market going. And so we'll see what happens, but I'm bullish on Bitcoin for the rest of this week, or for the end of this week, and then for the rest of July. I'm very bullish in July. July is usually a good month for Bitcoin, so we'll see what happens. But you know, that's just what I see going on. That's what I see happening for Bitcoin. So as far as other trades, I'm not in any other trades. I'm still holding Tesla. Let's go check out Tesla on the 4-hour time frame. Tesla tumbled today on the 4-hour time frame, and it's about to lose a 200-day moving average. Again, XRP, I appreciate if you guys hit the likes. So yeah, Tesla right now is about to lose a 200-day moving average on the 4-hour time frame, and if you lose 313, your next stop would be that 294 support on Tesla. That just is really bad. You go and look at Nvidia. Nvidia is breaking out. Nvidia right now on the 4-hour time frame, well above the 200-day moving average. Nvidia is a lot better thing to hold lately than Tesla. This is a beautiful uptrend on Nvidia. You have this bull pennant here. You broke up to the upside, and it's almost, in my humblest opinion, this is basically going parabolic at this point. So, you know, we'll see what happens, but Nvidia looks like it could just keep ripping to the upside. You can make some kind of rising wedge here. And Nvidia, if this breaks out to the upside, you're looking for, again, just a new all-time high on Nvidia. So to me, I wish I was holding Nvidia. I'm not. At this point, I'm not going to chase. But like the 4-hour time frame, look how, I think this rising wedge is about to go parabolic. Because look at this. On the 4-hour time frame, you're in an uptrend, but you're making a higher low on the stock RSI, suggesting probably sometime Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Nvidia just rips to 179 and 180 by the end of the week or early next week. So we'll see what happens. Nvidia could easily get to 180, in my opinion, based on looking at this chart. So Nvidia, I would be calling a massive breakout up to about 180. That's really the next target for Nvidia at this point. So we'll see what happens. I'll leave that there. We'll see if it hits that eventually. But yeah. Nvidia could really rip. Thank you for the follow, Hogan. I appreciate it. Yeah, if you guys would like me to do requests, at least hit the like button. So anyways, that's kind of what I see going on. I see Nvidia absolutely ripping to the upside. By the way, we're live on YouTube and TikTok as well. And I'm also on Twitter, so you go follow me there as well. We have a Telegram group, so you can get notified whenever I go live. You can join that through my Twitter page. But yeah, Nvidia looks like it's about to rip to the upside. And that's in the stock market, I understand that. But I like looking at a few stocks here and there. Chris looks pretty bad right now, so I won't really get into that right now. Bitcoin Cash, this is the chart compared to Bitcoin. Bitcoin Cash compared to Bitcoin. Right now, that just made a new high. So I predict that Bitcoin Cash is going to continue to outperform. Wow, it's at 521. I predict that Bitcoin Cash is going to continue to outperform the rest of the market and probably just continue to rip to the upside. So Bitcoin Cash right now looks like it could continue to rip. And it's outperforming Bitcoin for sure. So, you know, if there's one of the best altcoins to hold right now is Bitcoin Cash. I see Bitcoin Cash probably continuing to 565. I talked about this at least a week ago when it was in this falling wedge, and now it's starting to break out. So we'll see what happens, but 565 is still the target on Bitcoin Cash. So if you guys have requests for altcoins, let me know in the comment section below. Thank you for the follow, Andy, as well. Thank you, Sharon, for the follow. I saw a few requests. I don't know. So if you guys have requests, just re-put it in the chat. BBAI, I don't have any idea what that is. We have one like on TikTok. So we can look at BBAI if I can find it. It's probably a stock. So on the daily time frame there's no data. Oh, yeah, okay, so on the daily time frame, you're above the 200-day moving average. That's step one. That's a good sign. On the 12-hour time frame, you're above the 200-day moving average. That's good. 80-hour time frame above it. You are overbought on this time frame, so I would be cautious. The 6-hour, 4-hour above the 200, that's a good sign. This looks like it just is going to probably keep ripping on the smaller time frames. and here's your flag that you're kind of making right now. And whatever this is, looks like it looks like it's kind of looks just as bullish as Nvidia, maybe even safer, because RSI is making a higher low on the smaller time frames. So you're at flags, and these flags are more safer than a rising wedge. So and it's not quite as parabolic just yet. So really, the measure move right now out of the next flag on the half-hour time frame is $8.42. Don't know what this is. This is something to have on my radar, and I might actually have to look into buying this. We'll see. I will add this to my watch list because it is kind of intriguing me. EBAI. So thank you for this request. It's actually a very solid stock. It looks very bullish to me. I don't know anything about it, but it looks very bullish to me. Now, again, the higher time frames are overbought, pretty extended, so I would be cautious. But you're above the daily 200. You're above the 2-day 200. You're above the 3-day 200-day moving average. You're above the 4-day, and I don't think there's data past the 5-day. So the 5-day is also all the time frames that I can see are really above the 200. So now it's just about making flags and looking for more upside. At some point, it's going to have to pull back, but I mean, you have resistance at the all-time high, at least the most recent high, of approximately $7.26. You have support at that 660 level. So at this point, I'd be watching for this to probably continue to get a bounce back to the upside, and probably get to new all-time highs. So if I go to the 5-day, your all-time high is technically actually $10.40 and change. So technically not quite at all-time highs. And then at one point, I guess you were as high as 1617, 1620, but still, for recently, you're at the highs of the recent rally. So this is a great stock. I don't know anything about, but the chart looks very bullish to me. So I'll add that to my watch list. And if I see the 4-hour time frame get oversold, I will actually look for long on whatever this is. So I'm going to add a alert when the RSI gets oversold down to 7. I will be notified, and when that happens, I can maybe actually look for long, maybe sometime at the end of this week or next week. So thank you for the request. That's actually a great stock to look at. So the volume is crazy. 350 million volume today. That's crazy. Possible short squeeze. I see it. I see it likely to happen. Not financial advice, but it seems very likely. Seems likely. Currently up $500 with S&P trade still running. That's awesome. So yeah, that looks very bullish to me for more upside. So yeah, that looks safer than Nvidia. Frankly, it just does. Yeah, it looks pretty good. So if you guys have more requests, let me know. Otherwise, yeah, that looks pretty good. You're very welcome. So I will. I'll keep an eye on that one for sure. Is there any other requests? Let me go over to YouTube and see if we have any requests on YouTube. We got one person watching on YouTube, one person. So yeah, that's kind of my where I stand for that. Let me go back to the 5-minute time frame for Bitcoin. Bitcoin on the 5-minute, trying to get back above the 200-day moving average. That's a higher low on the 5-minute. I don't trade trend lines very often, but that is technically a higher low. And you're trying to probably make some kind of uptrend here and get back above that 5-minute 200. So to me, looks like you could get a bounce here for Bitcoin. SOFI. On the daily time frame, SOFI is going straight up. That's pretty parabolic. Above the 200-day moving average. 12-hour same situation. 6-hour same situation. 4-hour same situation. Above the 200. I'm just going to go down to these quickly until we get to the smaller time frames. When you're going straight up, you have to look at the smaller time frames. This looks like the 1 hour is about to rip here as well. Where do you find these coins or stocks? These look like they're just going straight up. And the 1 hour actually looks like you could enter long here and do decent, because again, that's another higher low, and your stop loss would be like $18 or lower, and your take profit roughly could be $20, $20.50 would be a good take profit. Let me just make sure I did this measure move correctly. So yeah, whatever this one is as well, looks like it could just rip to the upside. I would say the conservative measure move would be about $20. So that's really the measure move, is that $20 level. And I don't know anything about these, but both of these look very bullish. So I don't know where you're finding these. But again, I will add this one to my watch list as well. SOFI. Thank you for that. So again, what I would do is, I don't like trading the smaller time frames on the Nasdaq or in the stock market. I go to the 4-hour time frame when that makes a higher low, like the 15-minute just did, or what time frame just did, like the 1 hour just did. I would do the same thing on the 4 hour. If the 4 hour does the same thing the 1 hour just did, I would most definitely long that, because you're above the 200, which is at $14, and I would just look for a long if the 4-hour time frame gets oversold. So just like on the other one, I'll add an alert and we can go from there. So stock RSI, measure move. If you get below 5 or 7 or whatever you want to do, that's a good time to buy. So I'll put an alert on the 4-hour, and maybe sometime later this week or early next week, we can get an alert on that. There's only 3 more trading days, I think. Wait, is it Monday or Tuesday? No, it's Monday. There's, probably by the end of this week, it's only Monday. So Tuesday, 4 more trading days in the stock market this week. Probably sometime Thursday, Friday. This could send my alert off, and I'll maybe look for long, depending on what it looks like. Plus, by then, 2 or 3 more trade days, a 4-hour 200 will come up into price action. That's also a bullish sign, as long as you don't dump into it. So we'll see what happens, but this one looks just as good as the last one, honestly. So thank you for these requests. You're welcome again, and that's kind of both of those look very good to me. And right now the 5-minute for Bitcoin, it still see more upside. We'll see though. Maybe I'm wrong. The RSI is curving back sideways now. That's not a great sign, but we'll see. Although this is a new 5-minute candle. So I still think Bitcoin could easily get a move back to the 200. But either way, it's still struggling a little bit. But you're holding the trend line, so we'll see what happens. Bitcoin's in a interesting position right now. So I actually see a symmetrical triangle here for Bitcoin. These are like 50-50 patterns, so they could break up or they break down. If they break up, then they break up. If they break down, then they break down. But I'll give you the measure move of each one, and then if you break up or down, you can know what the target is to the downside. Target to the downside for right now would be 1063, and target to the upside would approximately be 1085. I did say later this week we get a bounce back up. I don't know if we happen just yet. I did say the most likely scenario is tonight we go to 106, and then later this week 109 is likely. But I could be wrong. Maybe we just go straight up here. I think the most likely situation is unfortunately this rolls over, but maybe I'm wrong. The 4-hour time frame for Bitcoin screams we can pump. The 2-hour says same thing. 1 hour not so much. But the smaller time or the higher time frame is really up until about the 12-hour look very bullish to me. So. But I do see 106 as being pretty likely here for Bitcoin tonight. Unfortunately, that just is what I see. And you do have liquidity at 106,000, so it's likely at this point you probably go tap that. So, yeah, that's kind of my update for the market. If you guys have requests for more coins, let me know. Otherwise, that's kind of where I see us going. Appreciate if you guys hit the like on YouTube. It does help support the channel. But that's we got 2 great stocks in. I told you Bitcoin Cash looks very bullish to me. That's your altcoin if you're in crypto. If you're in the stock market, we gave you 2 great stocks. And Nvidia looks great too. We gave you 3 great stocks actually. I also have a trading group as well. If you guys want to join that, you can click the watermark in the right-hand corner of the YouTube screen. But yeah, actually at this point, it looks like Bitcoin is going to roll over here. We'll see, to 106. So that's just the most likely situation. And then at the end of the week, I would be pretty surprised if Bitcoin doesn't actually get a move back to 109. But we'll see. We will see. Take it 1 day at a time, 1 hour at a time, maybe 1 5-minute candle at a time, depending on what time frame you trade. But to me, that's just what we got going on. So with that being said, guys, that's my update on Bitcoin. I'll be back live on Saturday night. If there's any other requests, I'll stay a little bit longer. But with that being said, I'm going to skedaddle. I hope you guys have a great night. This was just a quick update. And I will be posting, what is today? Tomorrow's Tuesday, so I'll probably be posting, later tomorrow, a YouTube video, a TikTok video, so be on the lookout for that. But with that being said, guys, that's kind of all I got. You're welcome. I hope you guys have a great night. Cheers, and have a great rest of your Monday night. Adios, and I'll see you guys in the next live stream. The trend is your friend until the end. I gotta say, right now, the trend on Bitcoin on the 4-hour time frame is to the upside. So short term, I see 106, but again, later this week, I see another rally coming for Bitcoin. By the way, the 4-hour time frame is oversold. So the trend is your friend. Technically, the trend on the 4-hour time frame is to the upside. That's all I got. You guys have a great night. I'll see you guys in the next one. Good night. Guys, if you guys have any more requests on YouTube, let me know. But otherwise, again, that's going to kind of wrap it up otherwise. So, yeah, that's where I stand on today. That's all I got. I don't see any requests, so I'm going to end it. I hope you guys have a great night, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Adios.